This is the story of a test of a good man and a good woman. When my father died suddenly of polio, this was before the vaccine in the 50s, if you're looking to assign blame. My mother spent some very dark years grieving and thrashing around in the various bars and churches that seemed to be set up to deal with that sort of thing, which was not good for us boys, my brother and me. It's not great when your father succumbs, but it really is tough on a young boy when his mother goes to pieces. So when my mother finally did pull herself together after a few years, my brother and I took great heart when she brightened up and started dating. We heard some pontificating from relatives that she had vowed that the boys, that was us, needed a father. We understood that she damn well was going to find one. Now that I'm older, I realize also that she was going to find herself a life companion. I think I understood some of that as well. Now my mother, once she pulled out of the hole, returned to being the attractive, educated, lively, humorous, and yes, sexy woman that she had always been. So there was a line of candidates for the open father for us boys position. Some of the candidates did not pass muster among the boys themselves. One I personally sabotaged by greeting a doorbell pretending to return a pocket watch which he had lost in the sofa cushions on a previous visit. It wasn't his watch. Another sabotaged himself when he tried to impress us all by shooing away a bear from a garbage can at the chimney's overlook in the Smokies. And the beast swiped at him and got a claw caught in his pants cuff and dragged him through the gravel for a few feet. There was silence in the car driving back to Knoxville on that one, and my brother and I still roll on the floor in laughter about it. So when the right guy showed up, we were all for him. Incredibly for us, he was a fisherman, not a pro, an educated man with a real job who was also an expert bass fisherman. Now, if you want a proper father for your boys, this is the answer. Because, as the famous book said, fishing is a religion, and religion is what boys need to rein them in. This guy was a gold mine. He'd be taking us fishing and giving us rods and reels as presents. It was unbelievable. But my mom almost blew it. The candidate's idea of a first date with the boys was a fishing expedition, with our mother along. How was that supposed to work? Our mother didn't know how to fish. Fishing is a very advanced intellectual and physical, not to mention metaphysical, endeavor. What about all the various casting techniques? Moon charts, wind analysis, lake temperature inversion strategies, the choice of lures and speeds of retrieve, depth of retrieve. How were we even supposed to fit in the boat? What if we had to replace a shear pin in a high wind before getting blown onto the rocks? But the candidate had an answer for all of that, based no doubt on some practices from his own deep past in a far-off boyhood. He took us worm fishing for bass in a rental, flat-bottomed rowboat in the middle of Norris Lake on a hot day in July. I didn't even think you could catch bass on worms. I didn't know at that time how you caught them, but I knew it wasn't that. Didn't hang a ball of worms over the side with a lead weight in 30 feet of brown, syrupy water and wait in the sun. This guy was blowing everything. When my mother's line bent double and she was buzzing the tension on her reel, we all knew she was hung up. And she must have known something about fishing because she said, "I've got one." Not, "Hey, something's stuck," or "What's the matter with this thing?" To our credit, nobody said, "Wow, that must be a big one." When the fish cleared the water behind us in the boat, we were all set straight. It was a bona fide lunker. That's all there was to it. To his credit, the date man grabbed the net and said, "Hold her steady now," even though my mother was cranking the reel like she was spraying hornets in the driveway garbage can. When it turned out to be a 6-pound smallmouth, not even a largemouth, which was at least possible, even I knew that, but a near-wrecked, cold, fast water smallmouth, what were we supposed to do? We boys were beyond belief amazed. The candidate, too, was stunned. This was it. This was the test. Could he measure up? Could he do the right thing? Could he admit that the woman had done an amazing thing by catching a giant bass? When the rest of us had caught nothing, how could we? We were fishing with worms. Would there be talk about dumb luck, beginner's luck, or even injustice or freak statistics? What the man said was, "That's a good fish. It's bigger than any bass I've ever caught in this lake. I don't know what technique you were using, but it sure does work." He passed the test. In later years, he caught a few larger fish, largemouths, not smalls. I know, because I was there for most of them, as one of the boys who was properly trained and fathered as the years went by. He made the right choice. My mother made the right choice. Having no real interest in it, she never went fishing again. She didn't have to. Case closed.